Stavati's been a ghost ship, 20 years of empty claims, with hangars full of garbage and dreams that never came. Now he's fishing for new suckers to store more junk inside, while promising his gullible fans hover cars and free energy rides.
We are working on anti-gravity. As soon as we get financed, which again is coming very soon.
Divine insights were handed down, but now they cost a fee. In the wacky world of Wilcock, that's the way it's gotta be. Financial resets, debts erased, a world so fair and bright. The alliance never came, and neither did his wife. The wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. It's the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. Just buy my course, $300. Enlightenment's the deal. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. Extraterrestrial pals, they're coming here to stay. Disclosure's always just around, but aliens delay. Law of one, the Bible, Bhagavad Gita, all mixed up in one. David stealing from the best, but his fans think it's a brand new one. Plagiarizing profit, that's his favorite routine. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where nonsense reigns supreme, we'll all get rainbow bodies, whatever that might mean. And Jesus is an alien, the wildest thing you've seen. David's on a hero's journey through dimensions far and wide. Draco reptilians know where he lives, so in his mansion he must hide. Catastrophes and end times were on the brink, he said, but my coffee's brewing nicely, and I'm still in my bed. The wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. It's the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. Just buy my course, $300. Enlightenment's the deal. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. No one's suffering like David in his mansion grand and tall, with bison, steak, and chicken. He's the loneliest of all. His teeth are fake as his prophecies, and courses that he sells. In the wacky world of Wilcock, he's ringing all the bells.
If we bathe in our own urine, we can gain superpowers. What do we do? Doing the bath does help. Or you urinate before you get into the bathtub, and then you drink new water out of a glass, and when you're in the bathtub, you can do a little more.
Buy my course, $300. Enlightenment's the deal. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. His PowerPoint slides are packed with schizophrenic rants, forced to stream on YouTube now, bankruptcy's a stance. Stavati Aerospace, a Ponzi scheme they say, so pay pigs better pay up, or like Corey Good he'll stay. So many dates, so many dreams, none of them come true. But hey, don't fret, just buy the course and I'll enlighten you.
For God's sake, take the deal, okay? But you have to take the deal and you have to cooperate. Rise, rise, rise. And you feel yourself, kinetic energy of levitation, tingling across your skin.
In 2012, we'd all ascend, a cosmic shift was due. But here we are in 24, and nothing much is new. Mass arrests and cabal busts, elites should quake in fear, yet they're still here, sipping wine, and we're all stuck right here. In a world of Greer and Good, Crush and Loot, with their claims nobody tops David Wilcock, with his fringe and wacky games, while they're sharing UFOs and theories kinda tame. David's got aliens who wanna sleep with him and eat him, what a shame. He's the master of the bizarre, with rainbow bodies on display. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where nonsense leads the way. So here's to Dave, the shyster bold, with tales so far-fetched and grand. In his world of make-believe, where fantasy's second-hand, he spins his fairy tales and lies between his YouTube streams for his cat crystal ladies who gobble up his dreams. the night, secrets hidden from the light. Whispers turn to screams, shattering all your dreams. Eyes wide open now, truth you can't disavow. Echoes through the halls, crashing all your walls. Truth seekers, exposing the truth. Truth seekers, coming for you. Uncover the lies, open your eyes. Shadows try to hide, no place for them to bide. Light will pierce you through, reveal what is true. Running from your fears, can't escape the sears. Truth will hunt you down, tear apart your crown. Truth seekers, exposing the truth. Truth seekers, coming for you. Uncover the lies, open your eyes. Eyes wide open now, truth you can't disavow. Echoes through the halls, crashing all your walls. Truth seekers, exposing the truth. Truth seekers, coming for you. Uncover the lies, open your eyes.
Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back. It is time for another episode of the Wacky World of Wilcock. And just when you think it just couldn't get wackier, it does. For those unaware, Mr. Wilcock once accused me of getting him swatted, and we got the body cam footage and proved that he never got swatted, let alone me having anything to do with that. And he also made some very disturbing allegations, and is essentially calling me a Satan worshiping child predator due to my coverage of him, which has been extensive. And I will freely admit that I have been fascinated with the wacky world of Wilcock. After all, Mr. Wilcock has been making ridiculous, outrageous claims on the internet for decades now. And just when you think they can't get any crazier or stupider, they do. It's like watching a car crash. You ever know you go by a car crash, you don't really want to see anybody killed or, hurt or God forbid killed, but you just can't look away. And that's the situation that I've been in. So you may remember that we covered that David Wilcock's shady Aerospace company, which is being sued by creditors and called a Ponzi scheme and an investment scam, uh, sued by investors. I have to be very careful with my words. So they are being sued by their creditors for unpaid bills, but they're also being sued by former investors who called Stavati Aerospace a Ponzi scheme and investment scam in the court documents. Apparently, an investor gave them over $1 million, never got their initial investment back, let alone the money that they were promised should they make this investment. But over the Christmas holiday, David Wilcock's shady company began offering ridiculous things, I thought, like bombs and weapons and, rockets and things like this, which really begs the question, Mr. Wilcock, aren't you like a new age guru, love and light and crystal hippie stuff? Why would you be involved in a company that is literally selling weapons of destruction to murder people with? Like, isn't there, he talks about karma sometimes. Like, is there no karma? There's no bad karma generated when you're selling people dynamite and ammunition and weapons to kill people with. There's none of this makes any sense. And if you believe none of this makes any sense, then welcome, because I believe none of this makes any sense either. But before we begin with tonight's broadcast, we want to be sure that we thank you, kind and generous benefactors, because yesterday we did a sort of public service. And yes, we will be talking about Ross Coulthard's latest ridiculous claims. But as a public service, for those unaware, Ross Coulthard is now claiming that he has video of an alien egg spaceship being retrieved, and he has a witness to this event. But of course, the witness to the event didn't know it was alien, just didn't know what it was. But don't worry, other wackadoos told him it was alien from the UAPTF task force. People like Travis Taylor, the wackadoo on Skinwalker Ranch television show, and Ancient Aliens, and another wackadoo, Jay Stratton, who believes that werewolves followed him home from the Skinwalker Ranch, right? It's a crazy story. And all of the disclosure bros are getting their disclosure boners going, right? They're so excited for this story. And I don't understand the excitement, considering yesterday we broadcast 10 hours of proof that the person selling this latest sensational story keeps getting caught time after time after time selling completely and totally fake, made up, ridiculous stories that get busted almost immediately once he cashes in and gets the clickbait money. So I'm sorry, not sorry. I don't understand the excitement, but there's even more fun with that story, because Ross Coulthard is telling people, "Oh no, we have military witnesses that are corroborating the original witnesses' stories." Yes, he has other people with a military background that have been involved in UFO scams and UFO hustles and UFO hoaxes. Most notably, Michael Herrera, who you may remember from the Sean Ryan show, who told a fantastic story about human trafficking and alien back engineered technology. The only problem is it all turned out to be fake, because his commanding officer came out and said none of that ever happened. I was his commanding officer. That's the witness that's going to corroborate the other wackadoo seeing an alien egg spaceship. But uh, let's take a moment to recognize some kind and generous people. I realize that people do send super chats because they want the the host of the show to read the super chat. So we're a little back ended here. We've had kind and generous people from yesterday's broadcast where it was pre-recorded. I couldn't read them, but I'm going to read them now. So Pickle Ninja with a kind and generous $10 Australian said Ross Coulthard is the kind of guy, given the opportunity, that would urinate on an unsuspecting blind man and at the same time complain to the man about the rainy weather. Yes. And Jackson Left Eye says, with a kind and generous $5, says, News Nation glows so hard. Dave with a kind and generous £2 says, thanks for another deep dive. Love these. Uh, Jack Dittman with a kind and generous $5 Australian says, if you're confused as to if Ross understands ethics, he ran public relations for a war criminal. Yes, and he was willing to attack fellow journalists to do that. Thank you, Jack Dittman. Mariner 1712 with a kind of generous $2. God bless the pre-recorded goal. Well, thanks for helping us. We did, for the first time, we didn't hit the goal. I think I was a little too ambitious in our pre-recorded goal, Mariner 1712. But thank you anyway. Another one from Jack Dittman. People like Ross make me embarrassed to say I'm Australian, which I totally am not. I'm a Kiwi, I promise. Thank you, Jack Dittman. And Detective says, cheers, Steve. Listening to you felting these grifters is going to make the rest of my work shift go by fast. Praise the cash, bish. Well, we had a 9-hour broadcast yesterday, and I get that it was pre-recorded. So back to people getting so excited about this latest story. Like, people are still arguing with me, telling me I'm wrong. He's an award-winning journalist. Look, if somebody can put together a 9 or 10 hour video with the exhaustive evidence and all the details of all your previous fake stories, then you're a scumbag grifter. You're not a reporter. I'm sorry. You could put investigative journalist behind your name, but that doesn't mean you're actually an investigative journalist. That means that you're a scumbag. And I haven't set a goal for tonight. I guess I should do that. But let's check in with the live chat. We've got great attendance already tonight. It's wonderful to see. Let me see. We have Chris Damaris with a kind and generous $9.99 checking in early. I had to run to my daughter to let her dogs poop, then feed them. Now I'm picking up some groceries, Bidenomics, but wanted to represent before I drive home. Well, thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. It is much, much appreciated. Longtime show supporter Chris Damaris. And let me take a moment to go over to the live chat. We're going to set our goal for this evening. For those unaware, we're a viewer-supported show, and through the generosity and kindness of viewers like you, we're able to stay honest. I don't want to become a grifter. A lot of people start out this stuff honest and then they become a grifter, right? They have to. There's no way to make money at this without grifting. So we're going to start a goal of, let me see. We're going to do 30 super chats of $2 or better. And we've got a few hours to hit that goal. And I will share some, if we hit the goal tonight, I will share some funny Corey Good drama. There is some drama in the land of Corey Good, and we don't really cover him anymore, so I think people will appreciate it. 30 super chats at $2 or better. This is a very light goal for this evening, and we appreciate all of you helping us to hit it. And so welcome into the live chat. Stormcrow is here, longtime show supporter. Welcome, Stormcrow. Sandra McDonald, Gary Carter is here. Plan B, I saw Fat Chick Thriller and I got happy because maybe there'll be some dono bombs tonight. We have Osiris Christensen saying David is effed. Yeah, this is going to be, listen, if you're selling dynamite without a license, this may be a problem. If you're selling gun ammunition, this may be a problem. And we're going to be getting into all of this. Stephen Wisman is here saying, felting these grifters. Archaic Revival, longtime show supporter. Jesus J is here. Let's see. We've got Colonel Quail. Anna Louisa, longtime show supporter, is here. Sandra McDonald, I think I mentioned. Detective Bong Hits is here. Great user ID. Mist, Labyrinth, and Void is here. Functional Grudge is here. Plan D, Machine 9000. Majin Lucian. Cap and Stems, One True Saxon is here. We've got so many people in the live chat. Arlene Atkinzel is here. Isaac is here. If I didn't shout you out, I meant to. Just so many people in the live chat lately. We thank Stormcrow, who says, let's get it started then. With a kind and generous $2 super chat, we thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. It is much, much appreciated. That is one for the goal. And we thank you for helping us to praise the cash. And you too, Chris Damaris.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
We're praising the cash tonight, friends. Not as well as people that are selling bombs and missiles, but, you know, you do what you can, right? We're going to do what we can. And we thank you all for being here. We have one-time True Saxon with $2. Another one towards the goal. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. It is much, much appreciated. So here is the easiest way that I can explain things. After David Wilcock and Stevati Aerospace put out a Black Friday sale offering to sell people missiles, bombs, tank artillery, mortar shells, I said, given their shady history, I doubt they have the licenses in order to sell these things to anybody. So we started checking. And also, you may recall that John Christian Spadavaccia, who's been researching them, has started checking in on their claims. For those unaware, if you have a munitions license, you can sell ammunition legally in the country of the United States. However, if you do not have a munitions license from the ATF, you cannot sell ammunition. Now, explosive licensing is a separate thing that's run through the federal government. So what else could I do? I had to know, are these clowns really willing and offering to sell people ammunition, guns, smart bombs, and more. And please forgive me tonight, friends, because 'tis the season to be sick. And my oldest son got some kind of death cold flu thing, and a week and a half or more ago, and up until now, I have avoided it. But in the last couple of days, both my wife and myself have come down with this terrible cold death flu thing. So please pardon my prodigious use. Look, I've got cough syrup here, and I've got cough drops. I've got cold medicine. Uh, we're gonna have to power through it, friends, because this story is just too important to miss. So when I saw this Black Friday stuff, I said, "There's no way they can't really be offering to sell this stuff to people." So what could I do? We sent somebody in undercover. We sent an undercover operative in to ask to buy explosives and bombs and weapons. And what we found out was so incredibly disturbing that I had to, for one of the first times in my entire career doing this, I had to contact the federal authorities based on what we found out during our incredible undercover investigation into what I'm calling Bombgate. And we're going to get to that big story. I know many of you are here for that. But before we do, I thought we should probably go through the latest of the David Wilcock, his latest clips from his latest live show, right? One second here. Oh, geez, now I got to find them. I apologize. Did we? No, we didn't do these. I go by what color shirt he has on. All right, so we haven't covered him since his latest live stream. So we're going to get into the latest clips first. There's not many of the clips because he keeps repeating himself over and over again. That's David Wilcock's show now, dancing around, doing the super chat shuffle, begging for money, even though he says he doesn't need to be there. One second, let me share my screen. Okay, so these are clips from his latest live stream. One second. Oh, yeah, it seems like far away. So his latest live stream was last Sunday, which is the 12th. We're lazy this week. Been very busy with this undercover investigation. So getting to his latest clips of nonsense did not seem very important, but we're going to throw them in now. Macario says, when asked about another grifter, he says he doesn't know about her, and her story sounds like Corey Good. He has no problem shitting on Good now. Yep, he's throwing Corey Good under the bus now to save himself.
You please say what your view is on Elena Danaan and family of Tegeta. Do you feel they are genuine? Well, I promote the stuff that I like. And so if you hear me promoting something, then that means that it's something that I approve of. And, Elena Danaan has said a lot of things that sound very similar to the stuff that I've said. So
yeah, Elena Danaan is a total wackadoo who has pictures that she claims are her alien boyfriend, but they came from a stock website of a surfer dude.
As far as like being David Wilcock and having this interesting material that comes through, I appreciate that her material sounds similar, but there are...
No, her material doesn't just sound similar. It sounds pretty exact to to Corey Good's nonsense. And by the way, this is fair use. This is a transformative work. We're educating the public and critiquing the video that we're sharing.
Obviously, huge discrepancies. It does kind of sound like a Corey Good type of story overall.
Yes. So for those unaware, when Corey Good got popular and people started seeing how much money he was making, suddenly everybody was in the secret space program. And everybody was suddenly having secret space missions and experiences. It's really kind of ridiculous.
Tracy Ann says, love what you do, David. Sending love to Trama. Yes, I pioneered the double cigarette smoking technique today. Is it possible to do a Groucho?
Yes. So Wilcock has reached the top of the comedy game, and you should be lucky he showed you how it's done.
Mark's kind of dangling cigarette, but out of both sides of your mouth while in character. And I've proven that, yes, I've split the atom of comedic nucleation.
Yeah, he's just so comedically talented. This guy's about as funny as a funeral. Sorry, not sorry.
I've produced for you the ultimate indulgence of cigarette smoking Trama experience.
Trama, yeah. There's nothing like a new age guru who's willing to make fun of trans people for money, right? I mean, listen, I keep my opinions on most of that stuff to myself, but I would never make fun of anybody that has this particular belief system or something. It's just so stupid. He's supposed to be a new age guru. Aren't you supposed to be all love and light and accepting and all of that? But somehow it's okay to make fun of trans people because that's funny, right? All right, let's get to the next clip. We're going to try to power through these given my throat's condition here. And I apologize if I sound scratchy and raspy here, but this story tonight is too important to let it wait another week.
Tracy Ann says, love what you do, David. Sending love to Trama. Yes, I pioneered the double cigarette smoking technique today. Is it possible?
Hold on one second. We got that one, so we'll go to the next. There we go. They all run together because he's just been so boring lately. Come on, David Wilcock. You got to do better than this because I can't make a funny, great, wacky World of Wilcock show without you being wacky enough. One second. And it's interesting that, of course, David Wilcock is going to grift off of the California fires and tragedy. People lost their houses. He's going to grift and weave it into his grift because he's a scumbag. That's something, a scumbag. People lost their houses and everything they owned, dude.
So what the heck happened here with Los Angeles? Isn't it strange?
There were fires, David.
And I say this very imploringly. Isn't it strange that we were telling you that the time leading up to the 20th of this month is the most dangerous we've ever had in human history?
Now he's going to pretend he predicted the
And
fires.
we don't know what the heck these guys are going to do, but there's this negative faction that's very powerful. We call it the DS. Their backs are up against the wall and expect that they're going to try something really big and really nasty. And sure enough, it happened.
So essentially, he's claiming that he predicted the fires, but he didn't predict the fires or anything like the fires. Some psychic, just, hey, some bad things are going to happen in the future. Yeah, bad things happen. That's called life, David Wilcock. Jesus, God, how willing is he to grift? Detective. Here's one for the goal. Keep on trucking, Steve. Hope you feel better soon. Thank you. I hate it when I get sick because it affects the show, and we'll give you all a big praise to Cash. Thank you, Lord Ludacris, as well. Friday night, woo, going to be a banger tonight. Lord Ludacris, longtime show supporter. And we've got one from Archduke Instinct. David Wilcock is guilty. Guilty, I say, guilty. He is guilty, Archduke Instinct. Well, we're going to see if he's guilty of selling ammunition without a license tonight. We're going to get to the goodies. I have so much to share about that. All right, this one was 36. Next.
And that was one of the things that I got into this with, was the realization in 1996, oh my gosh, 95 actually. Here's this book about wanderers, ET souls, angelic souls.
He read a book.
And the whole list of characteristics that this particular author, Dr. Scott Mandelker, has for wanderers is an invasive and very personal description of me. It's totally.
Oh, yeah. So a guy wrote a book in 1995 called Wanderers. It's about star seeds. And David Wilcock claims that this guy wrote the book about him. It's so ridiculous. This guy also claims that people are putting him in television shows because he's such a big star, right? They're like ripping off his persona and putting a character that's a villain into different television shows he's watching. Talk about a bloated sense of self-importance.
Totally writing about me. And it's like, wow, you don't fit in. You have these visions of fantasy. You know, if everybody else was like you, there would be no crime, there would be no war, everybody would love each other. You're very naive, people take advantage of you. You daydream about advanced civilizations.
He's saying people take advantage of him while he's collecting super chats, claiming that he predicted the LA fires. But people are taking advantage of him. Christo says, can't wait when you look at David Pilates. He's fired from the police force, abusing of people online who speak against him. Amazing. Yes, I've begun to look into him, and we will be doing something about that, Christo. And thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support.
You daydream about UFOs, you daydream about...
Oh, yeah. Somebody sent me a poll earlier. Are you a star seed? And you answer all these questions, and it's so stupid. It's like, have you ever woken up hungry? You may be a star seed. Have you ever had deja vu? You may be a star seed. David Wilcock claims he's a star seed because he had daydreams about UFOs.
Fantasy worlds, Atlantis, etc. And there's many, many things on the list, but the point is you don't fit in with other people. You're kind of a loner because other people always want to take advantage of you. They don't like you. They get mad at your positivity, and they want to take advantage of it.
Oh, yeah. Other people want to take advantage of David Wilcock. He's not taking advantage of anybody else. It's other people that want to take advantage of him. We're powering
some of the most fun
tonight.
places to live, at least before there were wildfires.
Yeah, Macario says, everyone, please pray for David. He says those fires in LA are very sad for him. He lived there once and remembers every tree living in all the different areas. David needs help. Send your money to him. Forget the people with no houses that have lost loved ones. Send your money to him.
Fires all the time. So, I mean, I've rented houses in Pacific Palisades. I've lived in Topanga for 13 years. I used to go down the hill all the time. I used to go into Malibu. The whole eastern half of Malibu got burned up as well.
Yeah, this is typical narcissistic behavior. Everything is about him. People lost their homes, their livelihoods, their businesses burnt down. But hey, I used to live there, so this is directly what happened is directly connected to me. Even though I'm thousands of miles away in my Colorado log cabin mansion, like, come on, dude. He always wants his followers to feel sorry for him. I guess the more they feel sorry for him, the more they send him money.
Front properties got burned up. I mean, there has been a massive, massive, massive destruction that is akin to a World War level attack, a strike of some kind, military strike.
Because he's a military expert since he's selling bombs and all.
On this particular city. We've really never seen anything like this.
Is.
I can't think of any other example of such a large, it's already burned like 3 sizes of Manhattan. Okay. And so like, it's just this massive, massive thing. And it's very sad for me.
It's very sad for him. You know, thousands or tens of thousands of people lost their homes, their businesses, but this is very sad for him. So feel sorry for him and send those super chats in, friends.
I remember what the trees are. I remember what they look like. I remember where they are. You know, I went.
Send me money. I remember the trees in Los Angeles, friends. Who's going to listen? I remember trees from Los Angeles and Palisades and other parts of California. Who's going to send me some money? I remember the trees too. Look, if this grifting shit works for David Wilcock, it should work for me, right? I remember the trees. Send me money, friends. It's a tragedy because I remember those trees.
Went on hikes. And
he went on hikes there. Oh, boy.
So many of the houses that, you know, I mean, I drove through Pacific Palisades, man. So it's like, dang, this is just really, really crazy.
You know, it's really crazy. Send me some money. It's so selfish and narcissistic. Like, oh, this is really sad for me. No, no regard for the people who lost their homes or anything like that, right? Just this is very sad for me. So make sure you send me some money. Make sure you send me the money. Forget about those people that lost their houses. Oh my God, what a spiritual guru this guy is.
But because they're happening simultaneously, because the things that are happening to us.
Oh, this is interesting. So, because we called out the countdown, by the way, let's check in. For those unaware, I said that David Wilcock, he's been grifting off of this angel thing, right? And he's been saying that there will be a mass alien contact event. Wait, let me get this right. How many days till May 31st, 2025? So we started a countdown. Let me share this tab. So we started a countdown because David Wilcock has been grifting, and he's been saying that there's going to be a mass alien contact event by May of 2025. And also, the first wave of disclosure is coming by May of 2025. So we started the countdown on our last Wacky World of Wilcock show saying, hey, dude, you don't got many days left to grift off of this angel scam, this angel grift that you're running. He claims the Archangel Michael told him all of this. And so it must be true because angels don't lie. They just tell New Age grifters to write books and then put the angel books behind $333 paywalls. But Wilcock said there'd be a mass alien contact event and also the first wave of ascension by May of 2025. So we started the countdown because that grift is coming crashing down, David Wilcock, by May 2025. But now he's starting to backpedal. Now he's starting to come up with some future-proofing excuses for what he can point to if it doesn't happen. Hey, David Wilcock, you've been collecting money from people for how many months now, telling them that there's an alien contact event coming in May 2025 and the first wave of ascension is coming. Don't weasel out of it now, weasel boy. Don't you weasel. Let's see if is he going to weasel? He's going to weasel. Macario says, Wilcock explains how Michael gives predictions without giving real predictions because of free will. So he can only know after the event takes place. That makes sense. We can only know the future when it's our present or our past.
But because they're happening simultaneously, because the things that are happening to us are happening simultaneously to Michael in January 1999, he's able to describe them, but he has to use puns. He can't come right out and say, LA is going to have a massive fire, because if he did that, he'd violate our free will. There's
bull.
Cosmic free will. They can't.
Oh, so here's why I said I predicted the fires. Now I'm going to explain why I didn't predict the fires.
Get around. But they can walk right up to the edge without stepping across.
Ask any theologian. Ask any biblical scholar. Ask any Catholic priest, Christian minister, Jewish rabbi, or Muslim imam. Angels exist outside of time and space, and they have the perfect knowledge of all things that they were given. It's in their nature. They have a different psychology than a human mind. However, the one thing that they do not have is the ability to see the future. Only God has that ability. So how is an angel predicting the future for David Wilcock when you can go ask any? This is why none of this makes any sense. Don't let things like facts and logic get in the way of your grift, David Wilcock. Even though angels can't see into the future, that's clearly established theological law. Maybe we've got to bring an expert here, right? Stormcrow with another $2 Australian for the goal. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. We're going to check in with that goal and see where we're at. We're at 7 of 30. I think we can hit it. We've got 2 hours left to hit it. We're going to slowly go through this material that I have here. Wow. I am just I'm just fascinated with the fact that this guy claims to be some kind of expert and he doesn't know basic biblical truth. Angels exist outside of time and space, David Wilcock. They don't know the future, however. Go ask a Christian minister. Go ask a Catholic priest. I don't understand. And, why for the love of God would an angel give him prophecies and sacred knowledge and then tell him to put it behind a $333 paywall so he can make money off of those predictions? Sounds a little fishy to me, but what do I know?
This is what I read last week.
Okay, so Macario says, Wilcox still needs money for his movie Levitation. I think they took the money he dumped into it. If he had money, they would take that as well. David had a dream about the fire from a nuke, but now it was the LA fires. Yeah, so just connect the dots, man. Make it sound good.
This is what I read last week. The remainder of this period will involve and necessitate the cleansing of the planetary surface. Now, that doesn't mean everywhere, but if there's a pocket of discordant vibrations, which is part of the problem with LA.
Oh, Los Angeles has discordant vibrations. That's why there was horrific fires that destroyed hundreds of houses, thousands and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of buildings, because they have a what was that? Discordant?
The cleansing of the planetary surface. Now, that doesn't mean everywhere, but if there's a pocket of discordant vibrations.
Discordant vibrations. Is there a wackadoo translator in the house? What the hell does discordant vibrations mean?
Which is part of the problem with LA. I mean, I could see this coming when I was there 2 years ago.
He could see this coming, but he never predicted it, but he could see it coming.
Or a year and a half ago, filming my spot for this Levitation movie, which hopefully will get done. It might need an influx of cash once I can get some cash, but we'll figure it out. I still want to see that movie come out.
Yeah, that movie he promised everybody.
Anyway, I went out to LA, as you know, and I filmed this movie. And I discovered my personal guesstimate was that it had gotten 5 times worse to drive through LA than when I'd last been there in 2019.
He's such a pussy, this guy.
5 times worse.
It's so terrible to drive through it. It's so terrible. I had nightmares.
People were very aggressive. And when I got there, the Israel war had just started, and it was right at the beginning, and everybody was thinking it could go nuclear, that it could turn into World War III. There was a very palpable fear, especially in a major urban metropolis like LA, that it could all go up in a nuclear attack right at the beginning of the Israel war. So, wow.
And he knew about all of this, but he didn't predict any of it. Why wouldn't he cash in? Convince your followers that you really are psychic, David. Why wouldn't you do that?
Being there in the middle of that energy, and everybody's and I had dreams while I was in LA of it all burning.
He had dreams. Yeah. Isn't it nice of him? It's awesome. It's so awesome that David Wilcock predicts things after they already happened, right? Does he not know how psychic predictions work? You're supposed to predict the event before it happens, right? He waits till a big event happens, and then he says, I dreamed about the fires in LA. Great. It inserted itself here. Yes, he dreamed it would happen. Yes, he dreamed it would happen, says Steven. Yes, he dreamed it would happen. So see, he predicted it. Trust me, bro. I predicted it, right? Stiff Richard said, had nothing to do with arsonists and 100-mile-an-hour winds. Numb nuts Wilcox, the pillow biter. Yeah. Archaic Revival wants to come over to David Wilcock's house and stream on his chill on his stream someday. Dude, he's going to turn that into a stalker attack. Don't say that in my live chat. He's going to say stupid shit about that. We are Steven. He needs to debate Wes Huff. Yes, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Mr. Ian is here. No, so we finally have the chat room moderator again. Smash that like button, he reminds everybody. Be sure to do that. He does post-dictions, says Garage. Yes. With Wilcock's P powers, this is an admission. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. But let's get to the next slide. This is such slop, David Wilcock. This is just such slop. What is this?
The circle there. The hand is in the circle, but he's over here doing something with his other hand.
Wilcock has one hand in the circle and he's doing something with his other hand. Yeah, people can guess what that is, right?
You have these emitters that could be burning structures while the tree.
Oh, and of course he's cashing in on the tragic suicide of the Cybertruck bomber, because that's what, new age love and light gurus do. They cash in on tragic suicides. If anyone has seen Wilcock on one of his Edge of Wonder interviews, he talks about the Paradise Fire. He doesn't talk about the loss of homes and lives. He said it was started by a space laser to destroy an underground alien base. Now the LA fires were caused by drones with a laser. Just 8 more days and everything is going to happen, but then it might not happen. It's all prophecy, but it still might not be, but it still is. So buy my Michael prophecies. This clown said that there was aliens in Paradise, California. And so the government used space lasers to start a fire there and burn it down to kill all the aliens. Again, profiting off of a tragedy.
Trees are intact. Some trees are intact, some are not. But then remember, the key here is he says anywhere on the East Coast. So that's the misdirection. We're all looking over there. We're like, oh my God, what's going to happen on the East Coast? And then, oh, it's the West. You guys got us. But again, with my weird tinfoil hat theory,
oh yeah, so
maybe they could deliver lower altitude sources of energy. Maybe that would make it so they could be more effective.
Let's cash in on a tragedy.
And maybe they can cloak themselves so you wouldn't see them.
Cash in on the tragic.
This
all
is
those
my
people that
grand
died,
unified theory.
All those people that lost their homes and everything they own.
If everything that we've been saying in the show is true, then
because it was caused by drones shooting lasers at the trees somehow.
Day one.
And the thing that gets me is this is just made up nonsense. His followers are dumb as dirt, dumb as rocks. This is made up nonsense. He has no evidence of energy weapons being used, of lasers, of the drones he claims. None. He's just making shit up.
Of the 20th begins this month. It's all going to start to tumble out. There's going to be disclosure. There's going to be hearings, trials, everything. It's almost instant, and that's what we're expecting. Now, they may not actually do that, but they're telling us that they're going to. They may actually let it take longer. It's possible. You got to remember, nothing is a guarantee, and just because they tell you something doesn't mean they're going to do it that way.
Just because the Alliance, the fictional organization, tells you that it's going to happen, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. He's talking about out of both sides of his mouth here. This is so ridiculous. So ridiculous. Where is, even a lot of the other fake psychics that I looked into, they get hits sometimes. This guy gets no hits. And then he just gives excuses like, well, it's, geez, how many more?
We are in the year 2025. This is when Michael says that they are returning. But in one of the previous time loops, we were given about a 6-month timetable. So the new administration is going to have to do a big cleanup. I don't think it's going to happen right away. We can't expect first contact is just going to occur because he gets sworn in.
Wilcock, you said that a mass alien contact event was going to happen by May of 2025. That means you only have 133 more days to grift off of this. TikTok, David Wilcock, you better collect every super chat you can. Because what are you going to do on May 31st, 2025, which just so happens to be my birthday? Best birthday present ever. David Wilcock's latest grift is coming crashing down on my birthday. Happy birthday to me, David Wilcock. Thank you. Thank you. I will be live on my birthday, reminding everybody that you lied to everybody again. Just like you lied to everybody selling fake Corey Good stories. Just like you lied to everybody that you were Edgar Casey reincarnated. Just like you lied to everybody in the year 2000 and said we'd all get superpowers. Just like you lied to everybody again, pulling virtually the same scam in 2012, telling everybody we'd all get superpowers. Just like you lied to everybody about your fake government insider, Pete Peterson, who was a senile old man with a fake education, who never did any of the things that you claimed. Remember that guy? He ran Cyberdyne Systems, but he did so before Terminator, and they stole his whole story, and he invented all this technology. Come on, David Wilcock. Macario says, well, now it has all changed. Aliens and superpowers in May, but now they aren't coming back until everyone learns the truth.
No. There's going to be a lot of work to do. There's going to be a lot of things to learn. The ETs have made it clear, the positive angelic ones have made it clear they're not coming back until we do the homework and the public knows the truth about what was really going on. And then because...
So he's giving himself an out. If the aliens don't come by May of 2025, it's your fault, not mine. I did the work. I don't know why the aliens didn't come because you didn't cleanse your soul enough or, meditate enough. He's giving himself an out. And this, my friends, this proves that David Wilcock watches every episode. He watches every episode of this show. And he is reacting in real time. Every time we do a stream calling out his bullshit, he's trying to give himself an excuse for the excellent points that we raise here. And one of the most excellent points is, hey, buddy, you said that we'd have alien contact, open alien contact by May of 2025. And that the first wave of ascension would be here by May of 2025. Now, he watched our show and he's trying to give himself an excuse for when it doesn't happen. Because guess what, David Wilcock? Your prediction's going to fail. And everyone will know that you lied again and danced around and collected how many thousands of dollars in super chats based on these false promises, false predictions? He is a false prophet. We rebuke this false prophet in the name of Jesus. Hallelujah.
People are going to be so afraid when they find out the devil is real, Satan is real, evil is real, demons are real, black magic is real, it actually works, you actually get magical power if you do it properly, you can actually get these things to appear that are terrifying to you, and they can do physical stuff in the room once they get there.
Okay, and Yarna says, it seems to be pretty common knowledge now that Kali Yuga is actually ending in March, and yet he hasn't mentioned it once. I'm not familiar with that, so you'll have to excuse me. I don't speak Wackadoese, right? Which one are we on now? Oh, I lost my place.
We are in the year 2025.
I got it now, pardon me. We'll go to the next one.
For any other amount of money.
All right. So here's where it gets interesting, because now he's saying Stavati has a $300 million contract. God, I'm going to have a whole show of clips. The money is coming. Remember, we played that clip where he just keeps saying for years and years that the money is coming. But don't worry, friends. His imaginary friends have told him in 1999 that they will get the money. So it's all good.
For any other amount of money. And again, it was really interesting because we had a contract come in for a $300 million order. That was our first order for that product.
Yeah, and I found an article on Google today that said that like a year or more ago, they said they had a $300 purchase order, $300 million purchase order. And yet they can't pay their creditors. They got $300 million deals coming in every year, but they can't pay their creditors a couple $1,000s for work they did to the facility. They can't pay back the investors. David Wilcock's entire life is a lie. What a hellish existence. When he wakes up in the morning, he has to look in the mirror and say, you have to lie to people to eat today. I'll pray for him. I truly am starting to become sympathetic towards this guy. He has to just imagine the hellish existence where every day you wake up and you have to go, I'm going to have to keep lying to people to survive today. I can't survive unless I lie to people. What a hellish existence.
As Stavati Aerospace, we deal with all different types of military activity. And so...
Yeah, and you're also claiming to sell bombs. We're getting to the big story, friends, right after we get through the clips.
This is one of the things that was a military contract, $300 million. I can't disclose what it is yet.
Oh, he can't tell us about
anyway,
it. He can't tell us about it.
I already knew that number.
He knew it.
And
yeah,
I was
sure.
excited because
he's
it's
psychic.
like,
of course he knew.
Let's get some things going. So, we've got airplanes that we're doing. We've got all...
They don't have any airplanes.
All these different projects in the works.
They don't really have any real projects in the works. They have nothing to show for it. Stavati's been in business for decades. They have yet to show anything. They have yet to they admitted in court documents their only income was from a garbage dumpster company that was storing garbage dumpsters at their facility.
And our first deal comes in at $300 million.
He's saying that this is their first deal. Then why is their old... Look, we could... I got to find it now. Stevati Aerospace. I got to find it. They have said that they have $300 million deals before or something like that. Right? Let's see here. No, of course I'm not going to be able to find it. I like to go Google, is Stevati Aerospace a scam? Let's see. Is it a scam? Let's see what Google says. We get Reddit posts talking about it being a scam. I found a court case. I found Osiris Christensen. Stevati Aerospace has not produced a single product in its 30-year history, and it's being sued. Before you invest, you must practice due diligence. I'm not going to be able to find that, but they have for sure said that they had a purchase order. Let me see if I use the keyword purchase order. Because here, friends, David Wilcock is saying that that's their first deal. But they have said, yeah, here, I got it. Right from their own website. Friends. This is February of 2023. Stevati receives a purchase order for $243 million in defense systems. Stevati received a purchase order valued at approximately $243 million in new defense products and systems from the government of a U.S. allied nation. The purchase order was accompanied by an executed Form DSP. So they're always claiming that they've got these $100 million deals. And look, I'm just doing this right on the fly, live. I'm not really trying to bust them. It's so easy to bust them. But let's go back to David Wilcock saying that this is their first deal. What happened to the $243 million deal? Oh, don't worry. Now we got a $300 million deal.
Because it's like, let's get some things going. So, we've got airplanes that we're doing.
They don't have any airplanes.
Got all these different projects in the works. And our first deal comes in at $300 million.
First deal.
And then I unsealed it.
He said it was their first deal, $300 million. Then why did they say back in February of 2023 that they got a deal for $243 million? What happened to the $243 million deal, David? David Wilcock could not have gotten connected to a more appropriate company, because it appears, at least as an outsider looking in, having looked into them for some time now, that the guy who runs Stevati Aerospace, Christopher Beskar, is a pathological liar. After all, this is the same guy who said that he designed spaceships for the Star Wars prequels, and they were so happy with them that they named the Mandalorian Beskar armor after him because his name is Christopher Beskar, right? We got to the writer of The Mandalorian who said that is not the case. So David Wilcock, in my opinion, is a pathological liar. Christopher Beskar, in my opinion, is a pathological liar. This is the kind of stuff that pathological liars do. Oh, we got a $243 million deal. And then here we are a year and a half later. What happened to $243 million? Here's David Wilcock saying, this is the first deal that we got. It's $300 million. Okay, David Wilcock, sure. I bet you have a laser gun too.
This very soon after that deal came in. I could not believe it, because what does it say? If you think about it like the pyramid, this stone we build our edifice upon is like the pyramid. And that's obviously apparently what I did. If I was Edgar Cayce in my past life, then supposedly...
Oh, that's a lot of ifs.
Edgar Cayce was this person who built the Great Pyramid whose name was Ra-Ptah.
Yes, so not only was David Wilcock Edgar Cayce reincarnated, he was a very important Egyptian priest that built pyramids in ancient Egypt named Ra-Ptah as well. It's getting a little deep in here. I think I'm going to need some waders to wade through this bullshit, Mr. Wilcock.
So he built that edifice He built the pyramid.
He built a pyramid. David Wilcock he's claiming he built pyramids. He's so important that he built pyramids, friends. Come on, man. And hey, let's go. Let's get some super chats and hit our goal, friends. We'll be doing a bonus tonight of looking into some Corey Good drama. We'll be doing that for overtime if we hit the goal. Let me check in. We'll check in with the goal and see where we're at. Sometimes I get excited when I check in with the goal, and sometimes I get depressed. But nevertheless, we will check in. All right. We are at 8 of 30, so we're almost 1/3 there, friends. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, friends. Yeah, I'm going to need a lot of money for cold medicine to make it through this cold, so... yeah, he was Edgar Casey. All right, let's go to the next clip. This is the 115 clip.
It's very interesting because this prophecy was broadcast on January the 5th, and then the very next day, the Alliance directly repictured it on January 6th in the slides we have this week, showing the difference between the caskets of Carter and McCain. So,
he's calling Shadows of Ezra the Alliance again. Shadows of Ezra says, I don't know who David Wilcock is, but he sounds crazy. So his proof is some guy on the internet is posting the similar Q-tard stuff as me. Come on, David Wilcock.
Thank you guys in the Alliance for doing this. I'm very honored.
They think you're crazy, David Wilcock. You're thanking them for posting this. That's not the Alliance. That's a Q-tard guy who's a lot like you because you're a Q-tard guy.
It's obviously intentional. 2 million views. Jimmy Carter's casket is shown on
he gets a lot more views than you, David Wilcock.
the left. Well, John McCain's is on the right. What do you notice? And of course, the left, it's all...
David Wilcock's so desperate for proof that he's got to say Q-tard stuff and then wait for some other Q-tard guy to post similar Q-tard nonsense. And then it can say, see, the Alliance never came, friends, and neither did his wife. It's in the theme song.
Ironed out. It's very smooth. The right is all wrinkly, which would be dishonor. So, yeah, if you learned the truth about what he was involved in,
come on,
and the stuff that happened when he had a secret trial and what they told him.
He didn't have a secret trial. This is all Q-tard nonsense.
He was gone. You would understand why they did this and you wouldn't feel bad.
Yeah, according to Macario says, McCain made a deal with the Alliance. Shadows of Ezra before he dies. And Obama also made a deal with the Alliance. Shadows of Ezra at Carter's funeral. Ezra has been busy and he's still sending messages to David. No, he thinks David Wilcock is crazy. We have the DMs.
It's levels of treason and levels of criminality and evil that are totally, totally outrageous.
Oh, it's totally evil.
So if you don't think...
totally evil. They put a wrinkled flag on his casket. That's totally evil, and it means something. No, it means that the flag was wrinkled when they unfolded it, probably in that triangular formation that is usually the way that flags are folded. They get wrinkled, David Wilcock, you dumbass.
That this was all intended to scare the Black Panther, then you would be wrong. And remember, it said bullet. Now, that could have been one that he created, or that could have been one that somebody else was using.
What? Marvel's Black Panther is involved in this conspiracy? I'm in. Are we going to go to Wakanda next, David Wilcock, you dumbass?
So that was a scary prophecy, and then they bolstered it here by posting this. It's like, man, I don't want to be involved in all this turf war stuff. But then apparently this caused him to make a deal, because the next thing you know, this is on the 6th, 3 days later, he's out there smiling with 47.
Obama cut a deal with the Alliance. Great.
And he appears to
I guess he's not going to be a part of the mass arrests.
Cut a deal. Unfreaking believable. At the funeral.
David Wilcock's show is reduced to sharing Q-tard posts. I'm going to just keep saying that. David Wilcock's show is so pathetic. He doesn't have a show. Half of his show is posting Q-tard posts and like jerking himself off over it. He's getting hard. He's getting Q-tard hard. Like, oh, Q-tard conspiracies. Oh.
During the funeral that they had alluded to in the time loop, In
I
1999,
really think
the
this
coffin
dude's
with the
going
American
crazy.
flag on
He's
it.
going insane.
Now it's really happening.
He
They are there together.
He sounds like
There's
a
no
schizophrenic
Michelle,
lunatic in
and he
a
shows
mental
up,
institution.
and then they're talking to each other. And they're
They're talking to each other. That's proof. Duco Doos, Alpha Ralpha with a kind of generous $5. What are the wackadoos up to? Moon bases, 20 and back, Arctic bases, all the above. You gotta throw it all in, Duco Doos. But thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. We want to take a moment to thank our kind and generous benefactors, including you Patreon supporters, PayPal pledgers, people buying me a coffee, and YouTube channel members. And a good time to remind you, make sure that you subscribe to our channel. I'm sure some kind and generous person may give some memberships tonight. And if they do, you could win a free membership, but you must be a subscriber to the channel. When somebody gives free memberships, then they get randomly distributed to people in the live chat who are subscribers, but not yet YouTube channel members. But we thank you, Duco Duos, Alpha Ralpha, and all of you kind and generous benefactors for the donos. Praise the cash.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank Ra Almighty. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank Ra Almighty.
Praise the cash, friends. Let's get some donos. I think we're 1/3 of the way there. And we had a very conservative one. Oh, we've got Stormcrow with another one. A kind and generous $2. Jar Jar was based on Wilcock. Yes. And Star Wars is basically a documentary. Corey Jeffrey with a kind and generous $10. Thank you. Oh, that's a super sticker. It's a lemon character waving in excitement. I guess it's good that the super stickers don't display, so I just read what it is for the benefit of the audio podcasters. Brandon says, wish I could give more, but still praise the cash. Hey, Brandon, that's one for the goal. Mike Larry with a kind and generous $2 New Zealand says, for the cause. Thank you for your kindness. Another one for the cause. Trolley Troll says, Cold Fart will be on News Nation tomorrow night with the new UFO whistleblower, 8 p.m. Yes, and we'll be live at 10:30 p.m. to rip it apart. We're going to be able to rip it apart. It's already falling apart. Go follow me on X or Twitter at Stephen Cambion. Troll. Ross Coulthard said that they had military corroborating witnesses, but it turns out the witnesses, one of them is Michael Herrera, the guy that Stephen Greer grifted with, and then he got busted as a complete and total fraud and a liar. Yeah, it's already falling apart. He hasn't even aired it yet. Thank you, Troll. Mike Larry with another one for the cause, and another one for the cause, and another one for the cause. And let's go. Trucker Rob has gifted 5 True Seekers memberships. I was just saying, you got to smash that subscribe button. You could win a free membership. Trucker Rob is one of those kind and generous people that gives free memberships. And because of the kindness, generosity, and support of Trucker Rob, let's see, Chad Wellington got a free membership. AVG got a free membership. Hole was gifted a free membership. Paul Conley was gifted a free membership. And your landlord. You guys are all winners. You were subscribers, but not yet channel members. So if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button, and you too can win a free membership. Yeah. Let us continue in our journey. Arlene Atkins says, awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. There's so many kind and generous people here. So are we through the Q-Tard posts yet? There's probably going to be more. This guy's show is so pathetic. All he has is Q-Tard posts now. It's bad, friends. It's pretty. His whole show is Q-Tard posts now. Oh, now I lost did I lose my place again? I think I did.
It's very interesting.
All right, that was the last one. So we'll get to the next one.
What does Dynamite do?
Oh, look at this. He got a $300 million contract for Dynamite. Oh, I'm going to have to forward this along to the ATF, David Wilcock. For those unaware, we ran an undercover investigation into David Wilcock's shady company offering dynamite, and we're going to be sharing the results of that. It's a laugh riot right after we get through these clips, friends.
What does dynamite do? It explodes and it creates a fiery cloud. And actually that $300 million contract I was telling you about was specifically for construction dynamite.
This is going to be a problem. What we've been able to confirm so far, friends, is that they're trying to sell ammunition, including small arms ammunition, but they do not have an ATF license, firearms license, federal firearms license to sell ammunition. The ATF agent that I talked to is checking into their ability or licensing for the explosion stuff, the ordinances and dynamite. But if they're trying to sell small arms fire, like small gun ammunition, and they don't have a license for that, what are the odds that they have a license to sell dynamite? I still don't know yet. We're waiting to hear back from the ATF, but we'll provide all the details of the big story right after we get through these clips.
It wasn't for anything that was going to be used in terms of war or hurting people. It was just because of the Ukraine war, there is this massive shortage of TNT.
There's a big problem here. Here he is trying to assure his crystal hippie bitch love and light followers that he's not involved in anything that's going to be used for a weapon. We're going to show your audience the truth tonight, David. Why are you selling ammunition, smart bombs, missiles, rockets? Besides the dynamite, why are you selling artillery shells for tanks? Those are used to kill people. Do your dumb as rocks, crystal hippie bitch girl fans know that you're directly involved? In fact, a board member of a company who is selling weapons of war to kill people with? He doesn't want them to know that, but we're going to get you the truth tonight. The truth shall set you free, but first it's going to piss you off a little bit.
Which is
them crystal hippie bitches are going to be pissed, David Wilcock.
The main ingredient in dynamite. So, somebody better get on their butt and start making this stuff again, because if we don't have it, we're in real trouble. And one of the main things we need it for is construction. So the people now have decided that our price was too high, so that contract did fall through. But the point was he just earlier in his street, look at this. This is so ridiculous. Let's hear this again. Just earlier in his stream, he was talking about how happy he is that they got a big $300 million contract. Then during this clip, he says the $300 million contract was for dynamite, but then he says that the deal fell through. So the people now have decided that our price was too high, so that contract did fall through. But the point was we had a $300 million construction dynamite contract come in. And then here's this dynamite showing up in the dream.
Oh, he dreamed about dynamite. But isn't it interesting? Like, he's bragging earlier in the stream. We got a $300 million contract at Stevati. And later in the stream, he says, well, the contract fell through because our price on the dynamite was too high. We were selling dynamite it was too expensive, the dynamite we were selling. So the deal fell through. So who cares? You don't have a deal until they cut you a check. There's no deal. Just like all the other deals that he talks about with Stevati that never happened. Come on, David Wilcock. Jesus Christ, man. We got a $300 million deal later in the stream. Well, the deal did fall through. So the deal fell through, friends. Oh, man. Let's go to the next. Oh, David Wilcock was bullied as a child. Apparently, his whole one book is about that, basically. And now he's crying and complaining about the jocks at school. And if you want some nightmare fuel, we'll give you some. We'll give you some nightmare fuel first. If you buy dynamite from David Wilcock's shady Aerospace company, you get a complimentary night in a hotel. That is some nightmare fuel, friends. Yeah, nightmare fuel. Oh, no.
So the top jocks would represent...
He had another prophetic dream, and his high school bullies were in his prophetic dream.
So the top jocks would represent, in this case, like the DS, their control of the media, just like the jocks control the high school. They're always on the announcements. They had their pants pulled down, and they were wearing women's underwear. Yeah, what does that remind you of?
Reminds me of David's fantasies. That's
shaved.
what it reminds me of.
It was strange and very feminine looking. So the top jocks would represent in this...
Jeez, who thinks about stuff like this? If you did have a dream of this, would you put it in a live stream and tell 500,000 people about it? I mean, come on. Don't touch me, I'm crazy with the kind and generous $4.99 says the new age arms dealing story will go viral. It's the kind of story mainstream YouTubers dream of making 5-hour docs about. Well, we're going to be sharing our findings shortly. Thank you. Don't touch me, I'm crazy. Very generous of you. And I say a lot of stuff with the kind and generous $4.99 as well. Wilcock slop hour is comfy as hell. We'll get comfortable because we got a lot. There's a lot more slop for you. We got a lot more slop. I got to be honest. We got a lot more slop for you. Oh my God, how many more of this?
After that, for some reason, I put 2 soccer balls under my shirt to make fake breasts.
What? Wait a minute. Wait. I don't want to steal from the Keno Casino, but I just got to say this. Whoa, buddy! Did he just say what I think he said? He said he put 2 soccer balls to be fake breasts under his shirt.
After that, for some reason, I put 2 soccer balls under my shirt to make fake breasts. When I hugged Rachel from my honors classes, we had enormous love between us, and we were lying there together. And again, this is prophetic of the agenda. In this case, I am the woke character, using soccer balls for boobs. Dreams are fun.
Just when you thought it couldn't get wackier, he's dressing up as a woman by using soccer balls as fake tits.
Hey, man, you don't know where they're going to go. I was showing her my fake breasts, and she was laughing really hard. We were cuddling up next to each other and stuff. I let the breasts go off to the side. She thought this was hilarious and made her laugh even more. After that,
this dude made a slide of this dream. Sometimes you have a dream of dressing up like a woman and cuddling another woman with your fake boobs. He made slides of this and shared this with 500,000 people. This dude is losing it. He's absolutely losing it. I'm sorry, not sorry. He's losing it.
Let me see if I can do this without.
Came back from walking my dog, so I'm a little behind. Oh, he's going to sing here.
Warming
this
up.
Is gross.
Don't expect that what's happening is just a case of all this suffering.
Oh my God, it's
Perhaps
terrible.
You'll find that you're joining in the turning away. That's it. I did it. I didn't make any bad pitches. Good.
Bad pitches? You were pitchy as hell. I love how he thinks he's so talented at everything. He's an expert vocalist now. Your singing on your live stream determined that was a lie.
Show next Sunday.
Macario says, Wilcock says if something else happens, he has to go back to the prophecies and find out what has already happened. Why can't he do it now? His followers really believe he predicted things, but he can only tell you about them after they happen. Yes!
Show next Sunday. And then Inauguration Day is coming up right after that. Let's hope that what we just saw here is their last really big move before then, but it may not be. So,
Again, he's attributing the LA fires to some, nefarious cabal, deep state organization, and there's no evidence of that. None.
Something else happens, we're probably going to go back into these prophecies I read you and find that that's already in there. We just didn't realize it. That's what happened after the LA fires. I went into the week before, looked at the show. It's like, my God, it's all predicted in there. So anyway.
So he has to wait. He has to wait until things happen and then go to the prophecies and show that they predicted the things that will happen. Why can't he show what's going to happen next week now if these are real prophecies from an angel? Is his audience really this stupid? I mean, I'm starting to worry about him. I think there needs to be some wellness visits on anybody who's dumb enough to believe this guy at this point. Stormcrow with another one for the goal. Well, we thank you, Stormcrow, who's a longtime show supporter, big fan of David Wilcock. We thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. It is much, much appreciated. And we're almost halfway to the goal? Let's see. No, we're 2/3 of the way. We need 10 more. Let's go, friends. Let's hit this goal. let's get to the goal, friends. And thank you all for helping us to praise the cash.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. The blue chickens command you to praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
Praise the cash, friends. And there's a few more things to share here. Or did I miss one? Did I miss? I thought I saw. No, let me check over in the. No, I think we're all caught up. And just so everybody's aware, if I ever miss a super chat, just put in all capital letters, "You missed my super chat," and I will catch up. Salty Pug says, "Suffer chat." Yeah. Storm Crow, I got the last one. All right. So isn't it interesting that he has to wait until next week to find out what happens and then go back to the prophecies to see how they predicted things? This, more than anything, is proof that he's no psychic. He's a con artist. That's something a con artist would do, David Wilcock. Don't touch me, I'm crazy. Answering the call, now we need 9 more. Does he really have viewers, or is he laundering money via bot donations? Sometimes I wonder. Many people have brought that up, don't touch me, I'm crazy, and you may be right. There was a time when he had a whole bunch of bots in his chat, and they were all porno names like Horny for You, or like Hot China Girl, Love You Long Time, and then all the names flipped to like Crystal Hippie Bitch names, which is really weird. But thank you for helping us, so we know that at least once, and he was affiliated with Edge of Wonder, who were a front group for Falun Gong cult. So could he be using Chinese bot forms? Possibly, or allegedly. But thanks for helping us to praise the cash.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
I think I'm going to have some strange dreams tonight, right? He's sex trafficking too. We don't know that, Chuck M, but it is funny. Let's see what else he has to say about having to see what happens and then cherry pick to pretend that he's predicting things.
Now we are very much expecting that the alliance is going to do their job. They're going to do the arrests. The world is going to learn the truth. It's not going to...
Oh my God, he's predicting the mass arrests again. Pardon me, friends. I really needed some cough medicine here. I didn't measure that too good. It just tastes wonderful. All right, so he's predicting the mass arrests again. Wilcock, do I have to play the goddamn... We have like a 12-minute video of him predicting mass arrests in the past.
We're very much expecting that the alliance is going to do their job. They're going to do the arrests. The world is going to learn the truth. It's not going to be secret. It's going to be on all the media. It's going to be very upsetting for a lot of people.
How many times is he going to repeat the same false prediction? We have documented, thanks to the kindness, generosity, and support of our Wacky World of Wilcock clip producer, Macario, that he predicts this all the time. All the time he predicts this. Look, there's 16 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 10 minutes and 38 seconds. There's 10 minutes and 38 seconds of him predicting mass arrests all through different years. And even though that this is let me do it this way. Let me see. Or do it this way. That's better. We want to be able to see the dates. So, David Wilcock, you're once again... Are you really predicting mass arrests again, you dummy? How many times? How many times are you going to predict mass arrests are coming any day now? Look, it goes back. It goes back way before 2019, but Macario only clipped back to 2019 because I didn't want to play a 35-minute video of him predicting mass arrests. But we have this to share with you. Look at this.
Tribunals
February 3rd.
that are allegedly taking place. We have very good intel on this
Oh, great intel.
from multiple insider sources
Oh, he's got insiders.
that they have arrested right now.
Oh, the mass
key
arrests already
people
happened.
in the deep state.
They already happened.
They already
He said
have
in
tribunals
2019.
going on in several locations in the United States.
By the way, this all turned out to be completely and totally fake, you clown, David Wilcock. I think we're going to have a fundraiser. And I want to we're going to fundraise an entire clown suit for David Wilcock. We need the works. We need the good makeup, the stupidest looking big fat red wig we could get him, big fat red nose, clown shoes, the works. He needs a clown suit because this clown said arrests already happened in 2019. And guess what? All this was fake. But then the rest of this reel has him predicting the mass arrests and the Alliance are arresting everybody. I don't know, 10 times, 20 times? How many times are you going to predict mass arrests, David Wilcock, you clown?
And apparently Guantanamo, there are
massive prison barges. We're heading to Guantanamo Bay. All this is fake, of course, and none of this ever happened.
prison barges taking people to Guantanamo. And what they've done is they have started with the mid-level people who were directly involved in child trafficking.
Oh, yeah, and of course, involve child trafficking in your grift.
Sealed indictments that we've been hearing so much about are being unsealed. People are being put on trial.
Nobody got put on trial.
In secret tribunals.
There were no secret tribunals. He made all this shit up. This is Q-tard nonsense.
These are military trials.
There were no military trials. He made it up. This is Q-tard nonsense.
If you've come to this work through
Oh, here we go. February of 2019, the mass arrests are coming.
my material on the Alliance, and then you're saying, well, okay, David's talking about people being arrested, and he's talking about tribunals. How does this relate to the idea of ascension?
It doesn't. He just.
And I believe the two are fundamentally interconnected.
No, they're not.
Because part of it is this concept of the
16th,
tribunals and the
again,
arrests.
Again.
I believe this is going
Mass
to happen. I've
arrests.
spoken to multiple people in the
Mass
Alliance.
arrests.
Okay, that's what's so exciting about the sealed indictments. That's what's so exciting about the idea that
never
tribunals
happened.
have begun.
It didn't happen.
And I had heard all the way back in 2009
it didn't
about
happen.
mass arrests, that there would be
Mass
tribunals,
arrests.
that the most
Tribunals.
evil and sadistic people in the world who were doing really horrific stuff that we're not even going to get into all of it. You've heard me talk about this many times, that those people would be brought to trial, that they would be actually forced to answer for their crimes.
There were no trials.
And that they would be then incarcerated or in some
Nobody got
cases
incarcerated.
actually receive the death penalty.
Nobody got the death penalty.
So things have gone really wild because I've been talking about this since 2009.
And it didn't
I had
happen
other
since
insiders giving me
2009.
information about
He
these
doesn't have
mass arrests.
insiders. He's got bullshit.
The 30,000 U.S. soldiers
This
who
is
will
2020.
spread throughout the entire European region with tanks. What we're getting
None of that happened. It was more Q-tard nonsense.
from our briefings, folks, is that
He's not getting briefings except from other wackadoos and Q-tard telegram posts.
this is a targeted effort for the mass arrests that I've been telling you about this whole time. That's why they're there. There's 37,000 troops from 18 countries, including the U.S., many U.S. troops.
David Wilcock,
You
you're gonna
better
have to
believe those
retire
are
the
elite
mass
soldiers.
arrest
They're
grift.
very trained.
You got to
What
retire
are they
this
doing?
grift. Come on.
They're going to the
How
places
many
where
times
the
you
deep
gonna pull the
state
same
is.
grift?
They're infiltrating their strongholds and they are arresting people. They're not. This is really a very interesting moment in our timeline.
Again with the mass arrest.
And I will just point out to you to start with that we have received new briefings.
He's not getting briefings.
Those briefings are very amazing. So I'm
They're
going
not
to
that,
cut to
no,
the
they're not
chase,
amazing. They're bullshit.
stop the suspense right off the bat, and say that we have gotten, we heard it years ago, and I had forgotten about this.
Oh, he forgot about it.
The briefing is that we are going to get 3 days without internet,
3 days
without
of
telephone.
darkness.
You will be able to call 911.
Q-tard-tastic.
You will be able to call
It's Q-tard-tastic, friends.
other
It's
emergency services.
Q-tard-tastic.
You will not be able to use the internet. It will slow to a crawl, or maybe not even. You might be able to get your email. I don't know if you're going to be able to text people or not.
Oh, come on.
There's
Let's
another
fast forward
during
through this.
those probably scary stuff.
Oh, again in 2022.
It could get a lot worse. I don't know. I don't know if it's all going to roll up this week. I don't know if it's going to take weeks more after the cabal has been arrested and exposed, which is going to take a while.
Arrested and exposed.
When we get into the next class, and I'm going to talk about the solar cycles and how that's working, it's going to be a couple more years, but the bulk of it, I think, is going to be over before the end of this year. The bulk of the most
This was 2022. No arrests happened.
kinetic stuff, which is why I doubt that we have to wait until November to see.
You don't have to wait until November of 2022 for the mass arrests. But here he is in 2025 telling you the mass arrests are coming next week. David Wilcock, you are the shittiest psychic on planet Earth.
See some really big stuff. I don't even think the election's going to happen. I don't even think there's going to be an election at that time because why?
He said there would be no election this time around. Because why?
Other events are going to supersede that.
The mass arrests are coming.
And you're going to probably see a bunch of people arrested before November 5th. So true. There is going to be a full exposure of the DS.
Oh, more mass arrests.
High-level arrests.
High-level arrests.
We're going to see that almost immediately turn into disclosure.
Oh, mass arrests turn into disclosure. September 2024.
There's no way these guys are going to succeed. They are going to be brought to justice.
Yeah,
We are
because the
going to
mass
see this
arrests are
unfold.
coming.
And I don't even know
The mass
if
arrests
November's
are
going to happen
coming.
in a normal way or not. Maybe.
This guy has no shame whatsoever. He knows we have this file on him of all the times he's claimed that the mass arrests are coming, and he still keeps grifting off of this. And his followers are so dumb, they still believe him. That's how stupid they are. You have to be a little bit mentally deficient to give David Wilcock money when he says mass arrests are coming. I'm sorry. That's how I feel. I'm entitled to my feelings.
Maybe it will. I'm strongly inclined to think something's going to happen before then. I'm strongly inclined to think that the negative is going to try anything it can to try to stop this from happening. And whatever mayhem they try to create may, in fact, trigger this event where the Alliance then does a whole bunch of arrests and we have a bunch of very exciting things take place, as I've said in many
September, the mass arrests are coming.
other shows before. And if this event happens, I have no idea where it's going to go. It might be that arrests happen right away.
Arrests happen again.
It might be that the Alliance's police actions we've been expecting.
All right, so this is September. That in the November, the mass arrests are happening again, apparently, right? The mass arrests are happening again in November 2024.
This coming week could be a wild roller coaster ride. That's the third time in 1 week that they've told us Friday, this weekend. And they're telling you about this foundation.
Yeah, and I love he blames it on his sources, right?
Guy just stepped down. Something big is
His
coming.
sources are Q-Tard Telegram posters, right?
And I
Like everybody gave up on Q-Tard stuff like 2 years ago. David Wilcock is still holding on with both arms.
they're going to start probably doing some arrests and bringing out
Do some
information.
arrests.
The initial wave will be fast and meaningful. So this
cannot
is
go
talking
slow.
about the operations that we're expecting to see,
Oh, the mass
how
arrests.
sudden and how dramatic this is going to be.
Mass arrests are
It's
coming,
a very,
David.
very exciting thing. It might only take one day.
One day, the
And the
mass
escalation
arrests
that
will
we're seeing
happen.
right now
They didn't happen.
Could lead to an operation happening. So this suggests that arrests and major stuff, including emergency broadcast system,
3 days
may
of
occur
darkness
in
again.
December,
May
may occur in
December.
January, could be well before the 20th. So I have to admit,
Well before the 20th that the mass arrests are going to happen. The 20th of January. Well, it's the 17th. Tick-tock, David Wilcock. You better get some people arrested or you're a lying clown again.
and what I said last week, a new phase has begun. And notice that, likely the final phase. Whoa. Yeah, we're at the end, folks. This is it. And it's all going to lead to the arrests and all the cool stuff I've been telling you. But
Oh, and by the way, that Q-Tard guy, Scott Ritter, go look into his criminal background. That's who he's using for sources, people like him saying this stuff.
the ultimate point, as we keep saying, is that this is going to lead to a global moment of truth where once you see the arrests take place, and believe me,
Again in December, the mass arrests
you'll know
are
what
coming.
I'm talking about once it happens. It's going to be unlike anything you've ever seen before. And it could be that there are emergency messaging systems when these arrests take place. It could be that you're going to hear, to stay in your house. I'm so excited about what's going on.
He's so excited because the mass arrests are coming any day now.
And yeah, even if they try some UFO event, whatever, it's not going to turn out the way they want. And if they do it on a big, big level, whatever they try to do, it would actually activate the alliance. And then the arrests happen. And then we see after the arrests, and only after the arrests, and only after the public learns the truth, then the UFOs will show up. And the thing is, we're getting ready for January, and we're expecting like disclosure, and we're expecting arrests, and we're expecting all this amazing stuff that I've been telling you to get ready to happen. The arrests.
None of the amazing stuff that he says will happen ever happens. Did anybody get superpowers in the year 2000 or the year 2012?
We're talking about that we're going to expect, they will be on a vast level. There's going to be many people that are implicated all at the same time. There will probably be some type of very, very public events around all of this. And it's not going to be like just a week or two. There's going to be a whole lot of stuff going on. It's going to last for a while. It's going to be upsetting to a lot of people.
It's especially going to be upsetting to David Wilcock and his dumb as rocks followers when none of this shit happens.
We don't really know how this is going to turn out yet, but we know
Yeah, we do know how it's going to turn out. It's never going to happen, David Wilcock.
a lot of people are making deals, and hopefully most of them are just going to get, life in prison sentences. The drone thing, I think we can safely believe that now. Over the next several days, we are taking back our country.
Yeah, the mass arrests are going to happen.
Initiating fail-safes to safeguard the public from fallout. So nothing's really going to happen. People will be arrested. Confirmation.
People will be arrested.
Will then be revealed. On his order, there will be temporary control actioned. Dang, dude.
Wow. So what we see through the lens of history is that David Wilcock has been predicting these mass arrests for years. And here he is again on January 12th, predicting the mass arrests yet again. Does he think if he just keeps saying it every week, eventually it'll happen? I don't know. And what about, how stupid are his followers to keep sending him money when he just keeps saying the same predictions that never happen?
So anyway, now we are very much expecting that the alliance is going to do their job. They're going to do the arrests.
The arrests will happen.
The world is going to learn the truth.
Someday.
It's not going to be secret. It's going to be on all the media. It's going to be very upsetting for a lot of people. Show next Sunday.
All right. So I think we've proven our point that the mass arrests are never happening. Thank you, Duco's Alpha Ralpha, for another kind and generous $2, saying praise the cash. And we've got Trucker Rob with a kind and generous $5. Let's hit the goal. Let's go. Very generous of you, Trucker Rob. Thank you very much. We've got Doomy McDoomface with a kind and generous £2, saying praise the cash, chat. Yes, we are almost there. We're so close to the goal. I have a feeling we might hit the goal before we get to the main story, which is the apparent sale of illegal ammunition and firearms and things, allegedly. Roman E with a kind and generous $2. Praise the cash on alien overlords. Fat Chick Thriller with a kind and generous $2.99 says, sorry I'm late. Have some dollars. We've been waiting for your dono bombs here, Fat Chick Thriller. But I'm glad you're here now. I'm already happy. Waiting for those dono bombs from Fat Chick Thriller to help us hit the goal. We need just 3 more. We are 3 away from the goal, my friends. Oh, wait a second. We are 2 away from the goal. Kind and generous Stormcrow, longtime show supporter, says, come on, goal. Well, we have to entice you. So praise the cash, friends.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash, praise the cash.
We are praising the cash. And listen, I'm not lying to you about mass arrest being imminent. There's Fat Chick Thriller, another one. Yeah, look, let's hit the goal, friends.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash.
And did we get, I think we got another one from Fat Chick Thriller. That's it. I got to play the bumpers. People love them.
Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
All right. We are now. Oh, we hit the goal. We hit the goal. Thank you, all of you, for your kindness, generosity, and support. Look at that. We've got Sandra McDonald with a kind and generous $2.99. Thank you for your kindness. And Oliver Locke gets the goal, hitting super chat says, Steve busting grifts. It's a good day. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. All of you, we hit the goal. So we're going to go into overtime and share some insane Corey Good drama. Praise the cash. We hit our goal, friends. Thank you all.
Ra commands you to bow down and praise the cash.
All right. So what we've got to do here is we've got to get through a few more of these. A few more. We've got to get through a few more. Just 3 more clips.
Indicates it's no coincidence
Who the hell is Chelsea? Did I miss one? He loves his gay alter egos.
that name are all happy.
Yeah, Candace Owens is not a good source of information, but it is what it is. David Wilcock's got to take whatever data points he can weave into his nonsense.
And alleging that this person, oh, yeah. They're happy. So, you know what? It's fine to be gay. We're not angry about that. Again, no big deal. I have gay characters. 3 of my characters are openly gay, right? Trama, Chelsea, and Galian.
Oh, he's got extra gay characters that nobody's ever seen or heard from. But it is what it is. All right, just a few more.
It's a big problem.
Macario says, this moron wants you to know that he is very, very against kids being abused, and his therapist tells this 180 IQ psych major that 100% of the time it's going to traumatize the victim. Please let everyone know that didn't know this new info.
And when people start doing these weird crimes, they can be easily controlled and manipulated because, as it says here, they have psychopathic tendencies. So that's the big problem. And yeah, I'm very, very against that particular crime. My therapist tells me that 100% of the time it's going to traumatize the victim. There are no exceptions to this. It causes incredible damage. Everyone.
Do you think he told his therapist that the Archangel Michael told him to take baths in his own piss to get superpowers, and he did it and it worked? Or does he leave that out because he knows that might get him committed involuntarily to a psych ward?
Should be protected from this by any means necessary.
Newsflash. It's bad to.
We have this liberal who
children. Yeah. Macario says you can't make this stuff up. Wilcock says this crazy liberal thinks that Kamala won and on the 20th will become president. This guy is crazy, but it's the same thing. Yeah, Wilcock said that Trump was still going to become the president in 2020. Great.
We have this liberal who thinks in some crazy way they're still going to finagle her in. I doubt that very, very much. This is just something they're sharing with you to get you to think. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. This person claims that there is not going to be what we think will happen on the 20th.
He did the very same thing when Donald Trump lost the election in 2020. He claimed that Donald Trump would still somehow take office. So, boy, what a hypocrite.
Citing algorithm inconsistencies and alleging that there are going to be 15 million undiscovereds. He predicts that she will end up winning instead. It's so implausible. I think they're just having you laugh, really.
Over.
He's urging the 11 million Americans to rise up and protest. That's not going to happen. He also foresees a great awakening that will reveal all the wrong things that have been done. That is such a projection because that's exactly what's being done to them.
This is exactly what he did. For those that don't know, he was one of those idiot Q-tard people that said like, oh, Donald Trump is still in control of the military and he's still going to get back in the White House and all the Q-tard nonsense stuff. But here he is making fun of somebody doing the exact same thing that he did 4 years ago. It is what it is, friends. Now, let us prepare because, as I stated at the beginning of the broadcast, David Wilcock's shady Aerospace company, which is being sued by their creditors, let me put that on the record. So this is from Case Text. On February 27th, 2023, plaintiff and Stevati Aerospace executed a promissory note and investment note where plaintiff invested $1 million as an angel investor. It appears that defendant Christopher Beskar signed the investment note that in his capacity as chief executive officer. However, the represented defendants contend defendant Christopher Beskar did not sign or authorize the investment note. Rather, defendant Brian Colvin forged his signature by using a fraudulent transfer from a bank form non-disclosure agreement. The agreement note obligated Stevati Aerospace to repay the principal of the loan by May 1st, 2022. And I apologize, that was February 27th that they entered into this, 2022. Plaintiff claims that Stevati Aerospace never returned any of the capital investment by plaintiff. So what does that mean? That means that Stevati Aerospace took $1 million from an investor and did not return their principal investment. And so they also did not return any of the money that they claimed that they would give the investor for the investment. They're being sued by this person, Dimitri, in this court case. It's Dimitri versus Stevati Aerospace Ltd. These are all public documents. And so they're being sued by this investor, and this investor claimed in these court documents that Stevati Aerospace was, quote, an investment scam and a Ponzi scheme. And that's where it gets interesting, because then my friends, Stevati Aerospace, this past Christmas season, put out a flyer claiming that they were having a Black Friday sale and you too could buy ammunition, weapons, and more. And so, being the very curious type that I am, I wondered, how can they sell bombs, missiles, tank ammunition, mortar shells, dynamite, small rifle ammunition without any licensing? So I checked on the ATF website to see if they had a federal firearms license. Turns out they don't, at least as far as my research has shown. And then, just to be sure, Christian Spadavaccia, who's been researching Stevati for a book project, also checked with the ATF website to see if they had a federal firearms license. John Christian Spadavaccia says, we already know that Stevati doesn't have the ATF license currently for any of this stuff. Anyone can go to the ATF site and download the list of licensees, and Stevati isn't on it. Then he sent some FOIA requests for some old licenses that they had that date back 20 plus years to see if those were real. Still waiting to hear back on those. But again, being the curious type, I thought, how can they be offering to sell people bombs? How can they be offering to sell people dynamite, ammunition, without any of these federal firearms or explosive licenses? To be clear, we know they don't have a federal firearms license, which means they cannot, to the best of my knowledge and understanding, sell ammunition for guns without that license. That's public knowledge on the ATF website. But just to be sure, I contacted somebody at the ATF who is a public information officer, and they checked and confirmed for me that no, Stevati Aerospace does not currently have a federal firearms license, which would enable them to legally sell ammunition or, bullets to people. And yet, they're not only offering to sell bullets to people, they're offering to sell, we're going to see it all. So we sent somebody in undercover. It was an undercover investigation into Stevati Aerospace claims of being able to sell people munitions, ammunition, bombs, dynamite, mortar shells, missiles, rockets, and more. We sent our undercover operative in, and this is how stupid they are. We just made up a fake company name, and they were sent emails from a Proton Mail email address asking, hey, we'd like to buy some bombs and stuff. We'd like to buy some bombs and some ammunition. How do we do that? And idiot that Christopher Beskar is, that's the CEO of David Wilcock's Shady Aerospace Company. The guy that's been saying he has an aerospace company for 30 years, but can't show us a single airplane he ever manufactured or produced. All he could show us is 3D printed models, right, that look like G.I. Joe toys. That guy, he's dumb as rocks too. So we sent an undercover operative in, basically saying, hey, I saw your Black Friday sale. Can we buy some stuff? And just give me a moment. Yes, and John Christian Spadavaccia says, we already know that Stavati has no license currently for this stuff, but we still need to find out if they ever had an ATF license in their past. And that would establish that they may have been falsifying records or documents and claiming that they did have licenses when they did not. But just to be clear, we want to say that, listen, the purpose of our broadcast is not to disparage or provide any false information. So we got an email back from Christopher Beskar, who says, thank you very much for your email, and I apologize for the delay in response, as quite frankly, we have been focused on preparing for both our order forms and our product pricing for 2025. He goes on to say, what you will find attached is what we have created to aid our customers and buyers, which are PDF order forms that specify best-selling products by name, NSM number, and price. The forms are relatively simple to use. And then he says products range from ready for immediate delivery, such as ammunition, to pre-order with production lead time for new designs to Stavati military and commercial aircraft. But he definitely says in this letter, we are ready to sell ammunition. Now, again, we have three sources confirming myself with the ATF website. Stavati does not have a federal firearms license allowing them to legally sell ammunition. 2, John Christian Spadavaccia did research and checked with the ATF, confirming they do not have a federal firearms license allowing them to legally sell ammunition. 3, I contacted a public information officer in the state of Minnesota, because that's what phone number, there's a phone number that's a Minnesota phone number on the form. So I called the Minnesota Department of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. I explained the situation and asked the public information officer if they could confirm our research that Stavati Aerospace does not have a federal firearms license enabling them to sell ammunition. But yet here we are, and we have on the record, we have a letter, friends, from Christopher Beskar, which in the letter, he is saying that we have ammunition that is ready to sell you. We have ammunition and we are ready to sell you that ammunition. Just bear with me one moment. Now we're going to end up outing, to them at least, our undercover operative. But I think it's so important that we know that Christopher Stavati offered to sell ammunition. 1 second. Let me see if I could get this any bigger. No. Okay, let me do it like this. Just bear with me one moment. I'm going to get this and share it on screen so that we're on the record confirming that Mr. Stavati is offering members of the public to sell them ammunition. This is why this is important. What this confirms is that, first of all, and by the way, they're free to correct me. And by the way, why don't we call Christopher Stavati, who sometimes answers the phone? Why don't we call him live on air before we say something like, you offered to sell us ammunition and you don't have a federal firearms license? Why don't we call him, right? They have a New York number. I don't know if I want to, you know what? No, to be fair to him, and I'm going to share just on screen, these are the calls that I made today to the Minnesota number, because I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, you guys are offering to sell ammunition without a federal firearms license. At least it appears to me so, having confirmed with the ATF website and with an ATF public information office that you do not have a federal firearms license enabling you to legally sell ammunition. Can you email it to me? Every phone call I tried to make was answered by voicemail. But we're going to try again, just to be fair. We're going to try again. We're going to do it right now. It's ringing. There we go.
Hello, we are not available now. Please leave your name and phone number.
Oh, all right. So the New York number is not answering, but it is a late hour. So let's call the Minnesota number and try to see if Christopher Beskar can show us his federal firearms license.
Please leave your message for 65123.
All right. So we've done our due diligence. We've tried to get them to show us their federal firearms license, and they have not done so. So I'm going to share this. Well, let's get back to that. 1 second. Let me get my screen share here. And we're going to show you the letter that we got from Christopher Beskar offering to sell us some ammunition. Where is it at? All right, I'm just going to do it from the, I'm going to have to just do it from 1 second here. Let me get this shareable on my screen here. All right, I got it. All right, so we've established that Stevati Aerospace does not have a federal firearms license allowing them to sell ammunition to the public. Okay, so here's the relevant portion. Products range from ready for immediate delivery. Oh, wait, let me see. We got to share this on my screen. Just bear with me. This is the gotcha moment, friends. I know it's difficult to read this, but I'll do my best. Products range from ready for immediate delivery, such as ammunition, to pre-order with production, lead time for new designs for military and commercial aircraft, as well as smart bombs. Stevati produced next-generation air-to-air missiles or some types of ammunition, including specific artillery shells. But they're offering to ship us regular ammunition right away. And you can clearly see that this is from Christopher Beskar. And I believe under subpoena, it can be proven that this came from Christopher Beskar's email address. So what we have here is a terrible situation for David Wilcock. And I'm going to try to put things in the form of a question. I'm going to try to put things in the form of a question. And there's another one from Fat Chick Thriller. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. We appreciate you. Thanks for appreciating us, Fat Chick Thriller. And we've got another one from Abraham M., who says, Wilcock lies like Pinocchio, except when he lies, his forehead and his fake teeth grow larger. Yes, instead of his nose, but thank you. So we've caught up. And I don't understand why I can't. Let me try to... 1 second. Well, let me see if I can do this better. I'm going to try once again. I don't know why, but I'm having trouble with my screen share. Yeah, that's so wacky. I want to share it from an image viewer so that we could see. I think I got it. Okay. This is a much better way to share this. All right, we got it. So I made it as big as I can. So products range from ready for immediate delivery, such as ammunition. Here he is in a letter offering to sell us ammunition. And as I said, to the best of my knowledge and understanding, they do not have a federal firearms license, which would enable them to sell anybody ammunition. This is going to be a real problem for David Wilcock. And I was forced, being a good ethical journalist that I am, I was forced to file a report with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. And I have forwarded them all the information that was sent to us during our undercover investigation. This information is extremely disturbing, especially given the nature of the products that are being offered by Mr. Wilcock and Stevati Aerospace. So here we have Stevati Aerospace order forms. And these order forms are extremely disturbing because essentially they're offering to sell all kinds of things. Um, and I don't understand how they think that they can just do this without the appropriate licensing. Now, to be clear, as clear as I can, we've already confirmed with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms that they do not have the federal licenses that would enable them to sell ammunition. However, we do not have confirmation yet that they do not have a federal license that would enable them to sell explosives and ordnances and things like that. But the ATF agent that I spoke to promised me they would follow up with me after some more thorough checking because it's a different federal system in which that is confirmed, um, which those licenses are confirmed. So to be fair to them, they may have a license to sell explosives and the like. However, it would seem very unlikely to me, to this reporter, that they have a license to sell dynamite and they're offering to sell dynamite, but they do not have a license to sell, um, bullets, and they're offering to sell bullets. So here we see on this form the product that they are offering the public, and these are order forms that our undercover investigator got in their email. I couldn't believe this. I could not believe that this company was dumb enough to send any member of the public that asked to buy, here's an order form. You can buy dynamite. You can buy dynamite. You want to buy some dynamite? Here, you could buy some dynamite. It seems kind of crazy to me that they would do that. But here's the proof that they're sending people order forms saying you can buy dynamite from us. Here's another one. In this one, they are offering to sell members of the public HE warhead produced by Stevati Aerospace. Do they have a federal do they have a manufacturer? Do they have a license to manufacture explosive warheads? Because here they're offering to sell members of the public explosive warheads. Stevati Hydra 70 with anti-armor warhead produced by Stevati Aerospace Ltd. Stevati Hydra 70 with insert practice warhead. Something called a Zuni unguided missile, I guess, a laser guided missile for $25,000. Given today's climate with the overwhelming concerns of terrorism, I was shocked and amazed that they're basically willing to sell this stuff. Here's some other stuff. Hydra missiles. You want to buy a Hydra missile from Stevati? We'll sell you missiles. I'm sorry, rockets. This is crazy, friends. Absolutely crazy. And it gets even crazier because here we see that they're offering to sell people tank mortar shells. For $195, you could buy from them a tank mortar shell. Friends, I can't stress enough to you how important this story is. Because if true, it means that David Wilcock's shady aerospace company is offering to sell people ammunition without the appropriate federal firearms license. They are free to correct me. And if I am wrong, I will print a retraction. I'll show my audience their federal firearms license. I'll show my audience the federal licensing that they have to manufacture or sell explosive ordinances. I will do that because I'm a good reporter. And if I make a mistake, I want to know about it. But the interesting thing is, and by the way, I tried to call them several times today at both different numbers in order to verify, to check with them to say, hey, do you guys have the ability to sell this stuff? Here's another one where they're offering to sell tactical transports, tanker water bombers. You could buy a bombing airplane and I guess the bombs from them. It's kind of crazy, friends. And then, of course, this is some of their offerings. Hydra family of rockets. How is it? How are they legally able to sell this stuff? Here, they're offering to sell artillery shells for tanks, frag artillery shell, artillery training ammunition, artillery shell. And of course, they're offering to sell mortar shells to the public. And remember, friends, you can't sell any of this stuff, including this. They're offering to sell military grade TNT. That's dynamite. They're offering to sell people military grade dynamite. Hold on. This one's a little better. So, David Wilcock, are you going to just ignore this? Are you going to address this on your show? And by the way, David Wilcock, what are you, Mr. Love and Light Ambassador of the Aliens, what are you doing being directly involved with a company that is selling the implements of murder to anybody that has money? And by the way, just so that we are clear, you can down here on the order form, you can pay by MasterCard and Visa or Discover Card, or you can just wire transfer them the money for whatever bombs you want to buy or dynamite you want to buy or ammunition that you want to buy. This is crazy, friends. I just want to make sure that we cover. One second. I'm looking through all of these. Here's some more. Rockets and missiles. You could buy a HE warhead for $3,500. Anti-armor warhead. You could you could buy a practice warhead. Unguided rocket or missile. Laser guided rocket or missile. We did share that one already. Let's share it on the bigger tab here. So I'm just kind of confused because I'm at the point where I'm like, how could he possibly? Okay, let me share this one. So here they're offering to sell bullets. Here, my friends, they are offering to sell bullets to anybody that has the money. Again, to the best of my knowledge, they are doing so allegedly without a federal firearms license. Here, you could buy bullets at $1.50 a piece, cartridges for an M59. For $1.75, you could buy cartridges for an M61. For $2, you could buy cartridges for an M62. And for $1.44, you could buy NATO 175 grain bullets. Or for $1.08, you could buy 7.62 by 54 millimeter ammunition linked on 200 round cartridge belt. So this leaves some huge questions for David Wilcock, and I'm going to put them, to be fair, in the form of a question. David Wilcock, will you, on your next live broadcast, share with your audience and the public your federal firearms license that enables your company, Stevati Aerospace, to legally sell ammunition to members of the public, anybody who asks? We sent somebody in with a fake company name. They didn't even know it was a fake company. They sent us the order forms along with telling us the best thing to do is wire the money. And they gave us their bank wire information. This is a real problem. Legal Eagle with a kind and generous $10 says, David is furiously printing 3D ammunition and bombs. Yeah, they're not saying they're 3D printed fakes. They're saying that they're sending real bombs and real ammunition. So this is a real problem. Don't touch me, I'm crazy says that's why it's a scandal. Yes, this is a scandal. So David Wilcock, are you going to admit to your Love and Light audience that you're involved in a company that's selling people bullets to murder people with? Are you going to admit to your Love and Light audience that you're selling people bombs and missiles to murder people with? These are weapons of, some people would say that these are weapons of mass destructions. Guided missiles, smart bombs, These are weapons of war designed to kill people. So why is a love and light guy who's talking to angels? That's another thing. Wouldn't the Archangel Michael tell you, hey, David, you can't be involved in a company that's selling people missiles and bombs to blow up and kill children with? And everybody knows that a side effect of war is civilian casualties. So, pardon me, friends, because my voice is literally leaving me as we speak. But I'm glad we could get through tonight's broadcast. So, David Wilcock, you're not going to ignore this. You can't ignore this with your audience. You have to explain this. And I know that you have a tendency to try to ignore the negative press about you, but you can't do it. Your ego alone won't let you do it. Because now, because of my excellent reporting, and I want to thank the excellent work of our undercover reporter, who we're keeping anonymous for now. They know who they are. David Wilcock, we sent an anonymous undercover operative into your shady aerospace company to see if your shady aerospace company really is offering to sell people ammunition without a valid federal license. And to be clear and as fair as I could be, I've done all the due diligence I can. I checked with the ATF website. This is public record. Stavati Aerospace, according to their website, doesn't have a federal firearms license. Now, it may be the case that they have it under a different name, whatever. Then show us the federal firearms license, David. And we'll continue to check, and we will do an update to the story, letting you know if David Wilcock's Shady Aerospace Company does have a license to sell bombs, dynamite, mortar shells, missiles, and rockets. But I'm going to go on a hunch here and say I don't believe that they have that. If they're trying to sell ammunition without a federal firearms license to just sell bullets, what are the chances that they actually did all the paperwork? And for those unaware, because of today's world of heightened awareness of terroristic threats, it's a huge process to get the federal licenses to do this. And no, I don't believe that David Wilcock's shady company, who claims their CEO worked on top secret projects for the government but never provided proof, who claims their CEO had Beskar armor on Star Wars The Mandalorian named after him, or built thousands of spaceships for the secret space program. No, I don't believe that he did the proper thing to have the proper licensing to sell bombs, missiles, mortar shells, dynamite. They don't even have a license to sell bullets. And we know that. We've confirmed it by 3 separate sources, as any good journalist would before running with the story. I apologize in the delay of bringing you this story, but I wanted to be sure to have 3 sources that say and confirm Stavati Aerospace does not, to the best of our knowledge and research, have a federal firearms license which would enable them to even sell bullets. And yet they are also offering bombs, smart bombs, missiles, rockets, dynamite. They're offering to sell people dynamite for a few dollars. Isn't this a threat? Couldn't they, if they're just going to sell it to anybody, couldn't that be considered a threat to the public safety of anybody in the United States or any country that they sell this stuff to? And in fairness to both David Wilcock and Christopher Beskar, I will offer to have them here to tell their side of the story. And they're free to do that at any time and date of their choosing and refute what my research has found tonight. The purpose of my broadcast is not to disparage anybody or provide inaccurate information. And we have done the best that we can do to show you all of the information that we found. I also want to put on the record that because of my concerns over the terroristic threats that this may cause or harm that this could cause, if they, and let's be clear, I don't truly know if they have ammunition, bombs, rockets, dynamite, because we did not pay them and ask for delivery of the devices. I thought that was too far and could get me in trouble. I don't have a license to own dynamite, so I don't think I can legally order dynamite. They didn't ask me for a license when they sent me the order form, so who knows? But welcome to the wacky world of Wilcock, where a love and light guy who claims he's going to become the ambassador to the aliens that are going to have open contact on Earth by May of 2025 is a board member of a company that's selling missiles and dynamite to anybody that wants it, apparently. And they're free to correct me. So we have done our due diligence, my friends, and my voice is rapidly leaving me. So I think that we're going to have to wrap things up here. One moment. The Pwnecast Live says, nah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Well, for the knowledge of Christopher Beskar and David Wilcock, and to put it on the record, I have sent all of the proof that I have, and all of the order forms that they sent our undercover operative have been sent to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. They may open an investigation, so they may be hearing, Mr. Beskar and Mr. Wilcock may be hearing from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, inquiring about their licensing, because they are literally offering to sell these things to members of the public. And again, David Wilcock's followers may want to know why a guy who claims to talk to angels and is a new age guru psychic is involved with a company that's offering to sell dynamite and offering to sell missiles, bombs, and all of these things to kill people with. And let's be clear, yeah, dynamite can be used in construction, but it can also be used to kill people and to build, to build terrorist bombs. Very dangerous what they're up to, and I'm very concerned about it, which is why I don't often involve law enforcement or especially a federal agency in my reporting. But in this case, I felt ethically and morally obligated to do so. Archaic Revival. My experience of has been these people are charming, charismatic, well-loved people, and many people around them know but say nothing just because. Yeah, so friends, we have done our due diligence. I'm going to take a moment just to check in with our PayPal pledgers. For those unaware, you can also send a PayPal pledge because we're a viewer-supported show. So if you like, especially this hard-hitting investigative stuff, we're able to have the resources. We want to thank Maria for a kind and generous $50 PayPal, who says, I can't wait till the next episode of the Wacky World of Wilcock. Well, we delivered one for you tonight, so I hope that has been a successful one. So my challenge for David Wilcock is to be a man and stop ignoring your critics. It's a valid concern if your company is selling these things without licensing. And again, he's free to come and correct me. You can email me, David, at truthseekershow@gmail.com. You or Christopher Beskar can send me your federal licenses to sell these items, and I will show them on my next show and say, hey, I got it wrong. They are legally allowed to sell these things. And if you fail to do so, everyone in the community will know that you're trying to ignore this issue, which is really not something you should ignore. Being a love and light guru talking to angels, wouldn't the Archangel Michael tell you to not sell bombs to people, to murder other humans? I would think so. My voice is rapidly leaving my body here, friends. And I need to get some rest. We're going to be back tomorrow, I believe, at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to cover Ross Coulthard's latest, greatest stupid story. So we will be back, my friends. In the meantime, I want to thank all of you kind and generous benefactors, you Patreon supporters, you YouTube channel members. We hit the goal tonight, and I'm thankful for that. I also want to thank you people who even sent a few bucks in when we were doing our public service, informing people. By the way, there's a 10-hour deep dive into Ross Coulthard's various fake stories. So if you're interested in his latest claims of, all of these things, they're going to have proof of an alien crash retrieval. Well, if the guy's batting zero and every other of his previous stories turned out to be fake or mostly fake, what are the odds that he's actually going to come through with any real evidence? So in any case, friends, I thank all of you for joining us. This is a very important story, so please be sure and share this video. let's get the word out and let people know what David Wilcock and his shady aerospace company appear to be up to. So I am going to bounce on out of here. So that's all I got for you, friends. Until next time, my name is Stephen Cambion. Good night, and God bless all of you. Truth seekers exposing the truth. Truth seekers coming for you. Truth seekers exposing the lies. Truth seekers, open your eyes. They lie again. Have you had your fill? Let go of lies. Take your second red pill. I know you've had your fill. It's time to take your second red pill. I know you've had your fill. It's time to take your second red pill. I know you've had your fill. It's time to take your second red pill. Truth seekers exposing the truth. Truth seekers coming for you. Truth seekers exposing the lies. Truth seekers, open your eyes. It's time to take your second red pill. I know you've had your fill. It's time to take your second red pill. Truth seekers exposing the truth. Truth seekers coming for you. Truth seekers exposing the lies. Truth seekers, open your eyes.